Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Simcade. And we are on round 4 of the F1 2022 season. I'm joined by a very special man. It's Dodo. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Good to be back again for some Formula One action.
It's always nice to have you around, isn't it? You seem to be making more appearances than me.
I'm trying to help out where I can. I enjoy commentating, and so I'll do it whenever I'm needed.
We definitely enjoy having you here. So Imola, you like a bit of Imola, like we've just been talking about before. We were saying it's a very technical track, floors very nice, old style track, isn't it? Lots of runoff areas, chicanes. It's a great track to drive at.
Yeah, it's one of the best tracks for me anyway on the calendar. Very much a driver's track. The driver makes a difference here. A lot of emphasis on downforce and cornering as well. So not that great for overtaking, but usually the drivers make up for that, and I'm sure we'll get an entertaining race nonetheless.
You'd think it'd be top of the list for overtaking with having that great big long straight and then, a massive hard breakers onto the first chicane. But it's not, is it, really? It just seems to wash out a bit.
Yeah, it's because the rest of the lap's so technical. So you get the dirty air and everyone spreads out, and then obviously the DRS is really long, but it's not long enough sometimes.
So we do have a couple of new faces, a couple of returning faces as well. Mikey's back from his long month holiday in Portugal, and we've got Jericho returning as well. And we have a new face a couple of new faces actually. We have Winter, who's obviously now in ACC League, and then was it Vaxi is another one that we've just had join as well. So it's nice to see some returning and new faces. So, and we have Rain in the qualifying.
Ooh, lovely stuff. Right, there we go.
So that should
This is going to be a great quality session then.
That should spice things up to start off with. Just say a quick hello to everybody in chat. We've got Yuki, as always. Hello, my friend. How are you? We've got Gibbo and Golf. I hope everybody is having a wonderful afternoon, evening, good morning, wherever you are. Rain.
About the wet qualifying. So obviously we don't know. We can't see what's going to happen in the race, but the drivers will have that information on their screens. So depending on whether it is wet for the race or dry, we might have a situation here where they're going to be on a dry setup on a wet track, which is going to make things very difficult. But you always want to be on the right setup for the race. So
maybe we could get a bit of insider knowledge from some of the guys in the chat to see if it is full wet for the race as well. I know that it looks to me, definitely, and general observations of the pit lane at the moment, if we've got no drivers out, it is full wet. It
looks that way.
We do have a couple of cars just coming out the pit lane. We'll jump on board with them as well. And we do have a full grid as well, Yuki. Yes, we did. We didn't even require you to make it a full grid. We managed all on our own, but we definitely cannot wait to have you on the grid. Right, so the first guys to hit the track. Let's have a look. We've got Winter out on the track. I'll tell you what, we'll just see on how he manages his outlap. He's new to us in F1. Don't know how much F1 driving he's actually physically done. Oh, somebody gets in the Aston Martin very sideways there.
Yeah, so what we'll probably end up seeing here is them going out on, it's different to dry quali, we'll see them go out on a lot of fuel and do multiple laps to build up confidence rather than just the one flying lap. So that's why on board with Winther, you can see he's got 9 laps of fuel on board. It's not obviously normal for a quali session, but that's the reason why they're so heavy, because they want to build up that confidence over laps and wait for the track to rubber in as well.
9 laps of fuel, that's interesting. Yeah, so what we're saying is that the longer out, the more the track evolves, the more not a dry line, but a racing line starts to form, and it becomes a bit more grippier. So the longer that you're out there, the better it will be.
Yeah, definitely, and not just that, but obviously your confidence grows lap to lap. As you get used to the conditions, you get used to where the limit is. You'll just naturally get so much faster over the course of the lap, over the course of 5 or 6 laps.
And this is also a great test for some of the lower down drivers, because sometimes you find the lower down drivers actually prefer the wetter conditions because it's not to their pace, but it's a bit more to their liking. It feels a bit more natural to them, the lack of grip that they experience during the dry. They get that same feeling. Is that right, or?
Yeah, well, they say the wet is the best leveler. So we could see some upsets, a bit of a mixed-up grid, which is always good for a race. See faster guys maybe coming through, whatever. But yeah, definitely opportunity for some of the people who aren't usually up there to have a crack, and maybe a surprise poll would be nice as well.
So we're looking at the likes of, golf. I know like it's a bit of Rain and Rob maybe, but then you're obviously going to have your usual suspects, your Rozzers, Mons who's returning. Lance might be a good shout for a standout podium maybe.
Yeah, Lance has been really good recently, not just in F1 but the other disciplines he races in too, so he's definitely someone to watch out for today.
Well, we did have some disappointing news yesterday that we didn't manage to stream the Gran Turismo stream. That was sort of a joint decision between the admins because the game, spectator-wise, just looked too laggy. I will be doing an over-the-top commentary, so then you guys didn't miss out on the results. But from what I actually recall, because I raced as well, I think Lance sort of walked away with both wins, so but we will get them results to you on the YouTube channel, so don't forget. Just looking at everybody at the moment, they've all sort of bunched up slightly. There's quite a few cars, starting with this AlphaTauri, and you get an Alpine here as Extinct pulled out the first flying lap, I'd say a flying lap of 128.1. I don't think that's too much bad of a bank lap, really, is it?
No, that looks really fast. As we got Golden Flame the closest at the moment, 8/10 off. So yeah, it was a solid first lap. He looks confident these conditions.
And Ennis has lost a full front wing. Just seen. Yeah, that's not what he wanted to start off the session, as it looks like. Bax is on a flying lap as well. He just set a 29-second first sector. We'll see how he fares throughout the rest of the lap as well. It'd be another one to look out for. See what sort of pace these new lads have got.
Definitely, it's always great to see new faces, and you never know. We don't know how fast they're going to be. We've currently got Winthrop up there on in 4th place. He's new to F1, I know. Obviously, he's done ACC. It'll be interesting to see where Jericho as well comes.
And we have our first retirement of Bashi's out as well. Not quite sure what happened there. I have no idea. As Mons now, I definitely would say that is the qualifying benchmark of the 127.450. That's impressive to say the least.
Yeah,
and we're
going to see these times tumble, I think. I could see, there's probably going to be another couple of seconds yet to come as people gain confidence and the track rubbers in.
Indeed, and it is the track evolution. It is just keep going. You get more confidence in yourself on the track, and you can push the limits as you keep on going.
You're able to brake a little bit later and accelerate a little bit harder, and over laps, you gain so much time. So I think there's definitely more to come from everyone at the moment.
I think driving in the rain for me is definitely more satisfying than when you're pushing than you are in the dry. You find a lot more satisfaction, a lot more time, a lot more precision when you are trying to find the edge in the wet than you do in the dry.
100%, yeah. Wet quali is one of the best things. I really enjoy wet qualies. So yeah, when you nail a lap in the wet, there's nothing quite like it. So let's see if anyone can manage it now. Obviously, Man's already, as we expected, in first. But
we seem to have a yellow flag sector 1, 2, and 3. Then I think that disappeared. I'm not quite sure if that's a slow car coming through. At the moment, I don't know. Who knows? Just on board at the moment with Jack, who really is looking for a better form, as he's struggled of late. Here, he needs to pick up some form. Yes, it is a longer season, and it is. We're only 4 races in out of 12, so we still have a long way to go. But he could be wanting a better result today.
Yeah, and what a perfect opportunity to get that with maybe qualifying up the grid with the wet qualifying session.
Indeed, I think he would very much like that. So Yuki has a spectator's point of view. Watching people in the rain is a lot more entertaining. But yeah, I bet it's hell to drive. It is, but it's not. If that makes any sort of sense, it's more the thrill of raining. I suspect there's an Aston Martin pointed the wrong way as well. with no front wing. I don't know whether that's extinct out of qualifying. It is. So luckily he set that bank a lap.
It's gutting that because he looked fast.
He did, yeah. So yeah, as I was saying, so from a real point of view, if you are really racing a car, yes, I suspect it's a lot more scary in the rain, just like it is driving your normal road car. But in the game, it's a lot more satisfying, like we were saying before. But I suspect if you're driving an actual F1 car, it'd be satisfying, scary but satisfying. So,
I wish I could say, yes, I've driven an F1 car and I know that, but unfortunately, no. I'm sure it's driving an F1 car in real life is fun in whatever conditions you do it. To be completely honest.
Yeah, they wouldn't be doing it if they didn't enjoy it.
True.
As we are, I think everybody seems to be in and around the 128s, 129 so far. Then we do have the back end of the grid as Lance just improves his time there and puts himself up to P11. Today's NFL draft day. Oh, I'm not really one that I could comment on the NFL, but I suspect that's a very important time. Is that where people get picked and placed and everything? Is that what that is? I don't know.
I don't know NFL either, so
no. I'm pretty sure the man in the know, Yuki, will let us know.
Have to let us know in the comments. Someone knows what.
Oh, it is. About. I know that they get like first and second draft because it's the same as hockey. Because not that I watch the hockey draft, but I sort of know what it is. Hello, Will. I know that you get first and second and top picks and whatnot, but yeah, that's conversation probably for another day. As Golden Flame, the McLaren that kind of gets out of the way of two cars there. That's very nice of them.
Oh, good luck from Rosa to go P1. Just ahead of Mans as well, very close.
So these two have been sort of the top 3 or 4 have been trading. We've got no Cornish here again today, but if Cornish was here, I suspect the top sort of 3 or 4 would be usually sort of trading for positions, right?
Yeah, they're all very close. We know that Rosa, Mans and Cornish are all very talented, very fast, and they all have stronger tracks and weaker tracks, but they always seem to be in around the same ballpark.
Yep.
Which is obviously great for us.
Yeah.
But obviously, unfortunately, no Cornish, so it's going to be Rosa and Mans probably battling it out today for the win. But you never know, someone might.
Well, Extinct and Golden Flame are usually chucking themselves up in there as well. And like I said, we don't know how the rest of the boys. Jericho's usually quite a strong person, and so's Bashi as well. So you never know, do we really? What we're gonna get here?
Yeah, no, especially in these conditions, anything can happen.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it is kind of status quo. I was expecting maybe a couple of people up there that we didn't usually see, but maybe they've. Well, I guess we've got to wait till the end of the session.
It does seem sort of the usual suspects as usual, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I was giving big shout outs to the likes of Golf and everybody else, but yeah, it seems to be as they were. Do we not have drafts in MLS or in any other soccer leagues? No, it's not drafts. It's just a transfer window that sort of opens up twice a year, and you have to sort of like pick your best bids. Whoever. I don't know how to explain it. It's a bit like F1, isn't it? When you move a team, you just move because they pay more money than the other team.
Best way to learn that is play FIFA. That's how I know all my football knowledge.
Yeah, play FIFA, Football Manager, all the same things. But yeah, no, it's just basically people pay for the other teams, players, basically. But a lot of people using the gravel as a runoff. I'm not sure that's the best sort of place to be putting yourself for the on-track perspective. It's not really the best place to put yourself on the gravel. It's a very dirty tyres. You don't really want that.
I'm not sure if they're meaning to do that. I probably doubt it. But obviously grip's going to be at a premium, so just trying to push out a little bit too hard.
Yeah, well, we were saying it's a very wide, strangely wide track, but it narrows in certain places like the chicanes. It probably doesn't, but it does feel to narrow a little bit. But there's not a great deal that Vaxi takes an unusual turn on the grass there. So yeah, but there's not a great deal of natural runoff areas, is there? It's more grass or gravel.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very old style track. There's not a lot of concrete runoff. It's if you go off, you're in gravel, which I like. I think that's the way it should be. Obviously, with a lot of modern circuits now, you kind of have the forgiving concrete runoff where you just kind of go off track and come back on, nothing happens. But this isn't one of those. You've got to be really careful.
Yeah, a bit like, I know it's not the greatest example, but the sort of runoff areas like the ones at Monza, you know, the long where they've basically cut out the chicane bit, and you can use that as a runoff, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't because they've put loads of polystyrene boards and bollards there, but sort of like that style. France is probably another good one. That's all just runoff area.
Yeah.
So Yuki's surprised that Mons and Rosa are not phased by the rain. I mean, when you get used to the elements in the game, it's something that you just sort of get past, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the cream always rise to the top, and we know these guys are really good drivers, so they're always going to be up there no matter what the condition is. You know, they have that talent, they have the speed. It's what we've come to expect from them now.
Yep. A bit like yourself, isn't it, really?
Oh, I don't want to blow one's own trumpet, of course.
Then I'll do it for you. You definitely put us through our paces when you were crown champion. You put the likes of Cornish, every race, and Mons, every race on the toes. You went on was it a 6-race win streak?
5-race win streak, and then I started bottling it at the end of the season, didn't I? But yeah, I really enjoyed my season.
You had a lot on though, didn't you?
Take part in. Yeah, I had that terrible run of spinning all the time, but
yeah, but you did have a lot on in the background and other things going on. So understandable that things started to slip slightly. As it has seemed to, there seems to be a bit of a lull in qualifying here, doesn't it? It doesn't seem to be the most exciting of qualifying. We've got 2 minute 40 left with Rosa and Mons being very, very close. We'll go on board with when Mons comes out of the pits. I'm sure he'll be coming out in a second. You can take us through a lap of Imola. We'll go on board because it is such a fantastic track. The yellow flag in sector 1 and 2.
I think I've noticed is they haven't. Quite a lot of people aren't opting for the stay out and do loads of laps approach. I've seen a lot of people do 2 or 3 and then come in for a new set, which indicates to me that they're using all their sets, which means it's not going to be a wet race.
Are we surprised that anybody hasn't tried the Inters?
It looks way too wet for Inters. It's still pouring it down out there. The track, there's still a lot of standing water you can see on the pit straight, and yeah, it's nowhere near Inters at the moment.
So there was a bit of a as Rosa just improved by a couple of tenths. There was a bit of a, not a glitch, but there was a bit of a performance jump in the Inters at the beginning of its F1 career in this game, where the Inters were good in the wet and they were good in drying conditions, so you could use them for sort of everything in between dry. I think they might have patched that slightly and made them undrivable.
Yeah, I think they did. That came with that was when they changed the whole tyre pressures and tyre temperature update. They patched that out to make sure people weren't just staying on the Inters when it was bone dry and still being able to keep a good pace.
Yes, it was sort of bonkers, the fact that you could run full wet on Inters and have more grip than you would on a set of wet. So I just didn't compute in my head how they even managed to pull that one off to start off with. So we've got Mons who's just come around the last couple of corners, so when he hits the line, I think you can take it away.
All right, it'd be my pleasure.
I'm
just backing off to let the guy in front.
I was just about to say there is a couple of cars, in front of him. He doesn't want to get involved with this, but he has to also be mindful of how long he's got left on the clock. It's 36 seconds to get down, plenty of time.
Yeah, he's going to make it. He's exit out onto the straight. So this could be the pole lap. He's only a couple of tenths off Rosa, who did improve on his previous lap. But it's flat out, even in the wet, through these slight corners on the pit straight, and then he's braking just at the entry of the curb. Use the curb as much as you can, but not the sausage curbs. And here will be a slight lift. Watch out for the back end. Fully down to the Villeneuve chicane, I think this is, and then clip the left, clip the right, use all the curb on the outside, which he does lovely. Traction hooked up nicely, heavy braking into the left hairpin here, uphill traction zone, so you want to be careful on the throttle. Again, no oversteer by the looks of it, and he's gone purple in the first sector. Very fast left-hander here, you want to clip the inside curb and then use the curb on the outside. And then this is a tricky double right-hander here. You want to hit both apexes, get it slowed down and really accelerate out of this bit using the curb on the outside. And then into this chicane, very difficult to get right, but you can get a lot of time if you do. You want to cut as much of the first chicane as possible, miss the second sausage curb, and that allows you to get straight on the power down this quite a long bit of straight. Kink to the right, which makes braking for the left very difficult. Don't want to lock up. He manages that really nicely, hits the apex beautifully. This last corner is all about the exit, which he does well again. This is looking good for a pole position that time. He's going to come across the line, and he does first man into the 126s.
And we want to be watching. Out behind him is Rosa's just about to cross the line as well to finish his qualifying. I wonder if he can improve anytime. He does just slightly, but doesn't get anywhere near pole there. He's a couple of tenths off. So just showing the actual pace that Mons does have around here in qualifying, as August also abandons that lap, and I think that is qualifying over. It did look very satisfying in the rain. Just looking at the water effects on the car it's just brilliant around here. Surprising that nobody has actually tried the inters. Is Gibbos intrigued?
I think looking at it, there would be no point putting the inters on. It's way too wet. That lap from Mans was hooked up as well. I don't think he made a single mistake during the whole lap.
Fighting the car
so
and
you'll be proud of that one.
Fighting with the car and lots of instance in and around him as well, which is enough to put you off, but enough to keep his focus.
Yeah, he did really well. It's probably one of the best pole laps I've seen, to be honest.
Right, I'll just run you through the starting grid for the Grand Prix. So taking pole position is Mons, closely followed by Rosa and Winter behind him. With Footy, August, Golden Flame, Extinct, Ninja, Ennis and Vaxi taking up the top 10, with Jack taking P11, followed by Lance, Golf, Rob, Mitch, Polybalar, Craig, Jericho and Mikey, and our one retiree of Bashi. I know we did have another retiree of Mitch, but he did actually set laps, so yeah, just his own fault really.
Yeah, good laps from Winter and Footy to go third and fourth.
Yes, only a couple of tenths before us. To be fair, from sort of fifth or sixth down, all the way down to sort of the bottom end of the mid pack, really, looks really tight. They're all within a second of each other.
Yeah, hopefully more of the same of the race, please. It'd be good to see a nice big midfield battle.
And the sun is shining, so we do have a dry race. The engineers are out and proud, and the guys are in the crowd cheering away. Fresh air. So as we get
guys on the paddock again.
I love it. I love it. It's such a great game. That does suck, but you never know. It does look really clear blue, but you could end up with a bit of rain because we do have the dynamic weather on, so you could, and it could still rain. Who knows?
You never know this game. It can literally go from clear blue skies to raining in a matter of laps.
And it does, doesn't it? It doesn't even like give you. You get the warning from your engineer, and it's like, 10 minutes to 10 minutes to rain, 5 minutes to rain. And then you'll listen, if you're with somebody else in the chat, they'll go, well, I just got 20 minutes, or I just got 5 minutes. And the game really doesn't know. And then it'll just start raining.
Yeah. Yeah, it just does what it wants sometimes, the game.
Yep. Guys, if you are watching and you like what you're seeing, don't forget to give us a like. And obviously, don't forget to follow the channel because we sort of race every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and over the weekend as well. Hello, Hip, on time just for the race as we're starting off our formation lap. I will run through the tyres quickly. There we go. So it looks quite of a split grid, really. I was quite sort of not expecting that. So we've got the two top boys split on their strategies, with Mons taking the harder tyres and Rosa taking the softer tyres, the mediums, which will get him off the starting line, but they will wear out a lot quicker. Apologies.
Yeah, I know Rosa from me and him doing the Intercore, and he loves a medium start. He usually gets the jump, because I like to start on the hards.
Yep.
He usually goes mediums and gets the jump.
So we'll just run you through the rest of the grid with was it Winter, Footy, Vaxi, Jack, Golf, Rob, Polybilar, Craig, and Mikey all electing to use the medium tyres and the rest are on hards. Sorry, carry on. Dodo.
Oh, I was just going to say that's going to give him a better launch off the line.
Yep.
So we could definitely see Russell taking the lead into turn 1.
Definitely. Guys, predictions. You get your predictions in. Who you think's going to win the race? We got a shout out from Brenko saying that Winter's going to get the win. Trust him, apparently. We have to trust Brenko. I mean, I trust Brenko's predictions. I wouldn't trust Brenko's driving. I'm joking. I'm kidding. I'm totally joking. So, yeah, guys, you get your predictions in. We've got Gibbo and Yuki, Hip, and chat. Who do you think's going to win? I mean... That Haas is carrying on for another lap. Oh no. No, we're going very, very quick down there. Or was that just me?
No, it did look like it. He stopped quite suddenly through his grid box. It looks like he made it.
Ross has missed his marker.
Oh,
that won't help him out.
No, and Footy.
That's not what they needed. So we've got a couple of chats at Footy with an upset. Oh, Footy.
Quite a lot of people missing their markers actually here.
There is. Rosa, Footy, Ninja, Jack, Craig, and Jericho. So
Craig and Jericho would hit each other. They were disqualified before. But...
They were. Go on, Dodo, you're away.
Okay, right, lights out and away we go. And it's a great start on the hards from Mans. Obviously, Rosa with that blunder at the start. And actually, Winther has got a brilliant start. And he's going around the outside of Mans. Can he take the lead? No, Mans holds it really well. It's a good start from him. In the background, it looks like there's some contact, yellow flags. As Footy's already out. Footy's out. By the
Believe
looks of
it is a virtual safety car at the moment. So that's neutralised that. It looks like there was a couple of... So there you go, Footy with an actual upset. Not Footy to win the race because of an upset. No, it did look like there was a lot of contact at the back end of the grid. I saw bits of carbon fibre flying off everywhere. I'm not quite sure what actually happened, but we'll get ready for the restart. You can take us through the rest of the lap because that was cut short, unfortunately. I don't think there's been any other major changes to the grid. Really, everybody looks like where they should be. But Rosa, not liking them medium tyres to start off with, though.
No, perfect getaway from Mans on those hards. He had a great launch, and Winther capitalised on Rosa being out of position from missing his grid box.
Yep, and we're green again.
Yeah, even had a go as well at Mans, and we're going again. Rosa's been caught napping off the restart. He's already a second behind.
He is, and the game is giving its great pit strategies as we just start end lap 1. So thank you very much for that game. As it looks to me like August was the big loser there, and it looks like there's a massive battle behind him to, yeah, it's about 4 wide going in the back there. As August has just lost 2 places there to Golden Flame and Vaxi, so a lot of people piling on the pressure. Yellow flags in sector 1. I can send you an invite. It is Polybilar that looks like he has been dropped. I might not be able to send you an invite. I don't know if... no, I can't. Oh, no. I can't send you an invite. Would you like me to share my screen?
Yes, go for it.
If I can find this, if I can find Discord.
That's very annoying.
There you go. Can you see all that?
Let's have a look.
As DRS is enabled, and we're on lap 3 with Mons taking a 6/10 lead over Winter with 2 seconds behind him, Rosa, and it looks like there's been a bit of a switch positions with Jack and Ennis. It looks like Jack's actually spun. He has, so the bad luck for Jack does continue. And a 5-second penalty for Golf for speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah, that's not great for Golf. Obviously, he was coming in to repair damage, so having that penalty is going to hinder him quite a bit.
It is indeed. It's not what he needed at all. However, I mean, reset, recover, and we could end up... You never know what happens. We could have a safety car.
Yeah, I think Mans is probably the last person who wants that at the moment. Out front on those hard tyres. If a safety car came out, it wouldn't be great for him.
No, it
but
wouldn't.
For the guys behind on mediums, it would be ideal.
Just looking at the likes of sort of Rosa and Ninja, it looks like Rosa's the leader of the second wave of drivers. Oh, there's a bit of a glitch there as well. Enjoy that. A couple of seconds behind Rosa and a couple of seconds after the leaders, really. It looks like Rosa sort of dropped back a bit.
Yeah, he's not showing the pace that he usually does. He's dropped behind Mans and Winthrop. I don't know if he's struggling. Maybe he went for a wet setup for qualifying and that's compromised him.
His yellow flags is sector 3. It looks like August is out of the race as well. I'm not quite sure if we can get an eyes on what happened there. I don't know who'll be the next person through there. It takes forever to flick through these cars, doesn't it? It looks like he retired in the pit lane, which is probably the best place to do it. However, the game's deciding to bring his car back out. So, thanks, game. So, yeah.
Why did that so early in the race?
I don't know, maybe it just took on too much damage and was too far behind. Who knows?
Maybe so, yeah.
Bit crazy, but it looks to me like the guys that are sitting behind Ninja are all lining up, getting themselves ready. They're all sort of, I don't know if Ninja's backing up. It looks like somebody's going to go around the outside. Vaxy's going to go around the outside. As they come down the hill, that's going to be very close. Can they keep it side by side going through into the last corner? Nice and tidy. Oh, and I think there was a clip.
Ninja's round.
I think there was a clip there.
I don't know. I think that looked to me like a racing incident from what I saw. Ninja had room. It's just one of those things. But yeah, the Vaxy using those mediums really well to try and go around the outside.
Yep. He did. So Ninja, the biggest loser out of all that, with Bashi making up a place on Rob as well as he tries to get himself further up the grid. With Mitch making a great recovery from poor qualifying, is now up into the points in P10 as well. Just tucked in behind, a couple of seconds behind Lance. The closest battle on track at the moment is Extinct and Jericho and Golden Flame. So these three are all lining themselves up to push their way up to try and catch up to sort of Rosa and Mons. With Vaxy making a great start up in P4 as his debut here at Simcade.
Yeah, a couple of the debut guys doing really well at the moment. Winther, his first race in F1, and Vaxy as well in 4th place. It's really impressive. And he's pulling away from this group too, the Golden Flame, Extinct, and Jericho group.
Just had to grab my phone because I've now lost the chat with having to share the screen with you. Yeah, I'll just grab the chat up on my phone so that I know what everybody's talking about.
My apologies for my game.
No, it's not your fault. It's just one of those.
Everyone ghosted, and everyone ghosted, and then the race ended, and the music came on. I was like, oh, great.
Just an F1 thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So ERS for everybody. I shall. I don't think. Can I get the ERS look? In Spectator.
You should be able to if you get the telemetry up.
Yep, I do.
Yeah.
So the front boys, let's go and have a look at the front boys ERS. It looks like 8% for Winther, who's sort of not using it to the best of his ability, I would say. Especially with Mons having 56%, so for defensive wise, it does look like Mons has got enough in the tank to help him, but it's if he's got it on auto and he's sat behind the person, I know that the game does like to sort of use it randomly, doesn't it?
I think it's more of the case that he's just been having to use it to keep up with Mans, because we know how fast Mans is.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised now to see Mans pull away a little bit with the extra ERS that he has. We know the ERS is so powerful in this game.
As Jericho sets the fastest lap of the 1:19.0. He's pushed in some pace. He seems to have found a lot of pace. He's got himself up to P5 with the Extinct and Golden Flame behind him. So he's the man on a charge at the moment.
Yeah, he's reeling in Vaxi at a rate of knots. He's already inside the DRS. Why has he stopped? Why did he slow down?
He's got a drive-through penalty. There is
a
a
safety car. Yeah, we didn't notice that, did we?
No, and it must have been out for quite a while because it's found its way down to second chicane.
Yeah.
So, not quite sure.
Sack the commentators.
Yeah, Polly Blar was the commentators. Yeah, thanks, God. Yeah, I don't want that to be put in chat. The chat seemed to know more than me because Polly caused the safety car, which I did actually see, and that Polly was the one that caused the safety car because it was Jericho that had come around the car and the car was in the wall. So yes.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see now what the medium runners do, whether they think they can get the hards to the end. It'll be a push, but I would gamble on pitting right now, to be honest, with how much time, you lose so much time in this pit lane because it's so long. Pitting behind the safety car is massively beneficial. Winther hasn't opted for that.
Rosa has, however.
Rosa has, yeah. I think that's a good call.
Hmm.
We've got a couple more as well, Vaxi, so they're going to double stack at Alfa Romeo.
They will do, but I mean, it doesn't really help when these guys are not in chat, does it really? To tell each other when they're going to be pitting, but it doesn't look like there's too much time lost there. Other people that seem to pit was Golden Flame and Bashi, so yeah. Rob seems to have found his way up into P8 as well, with Mitch into P7. After all of the change around the switchers, the grid seemed to be quite spread for some strange reason after only 8 laps.
Yeah, a lot of difference in pace. But obviously this safety car's perfect then because it's bunched everyone back up, and now we've got some people who have pitted, haven't pitted. It should be a lot closer now.
Yeah, indeed, and it does make for a more exciting race now, doesn't it? Now that a lot more of pressure on Monza, because again, what you were saying before, it's not what he needed, is it?
Yeah, I'd say there's equal amounts of pressure on Monza and Rosa, because obviously Rosa doesn't want to lose time behind the people who haven't pitted, so he's going to want to make his way through the pack pretty quickly. But then again, also Mans is going to want to pull away as quickly as he can from the front, so it's going to be interesting to see if Mans can pull that gap out before he needs to pit from those hard tyres.
I suspect that we'll be seeing maybe just one more lap behind the safety car, because it doesn't look like Golf is that too far. That's prime for Golf, who has that penalty. Actually, he hasn't removed that penalty for some strange reason.
Yeah, did he pit? No, maybe he got it.
He got it for speed in the pit lane, so probably now is the time to get rid of that, because can you serve the 5-second penalty? You can. You just can't serve drive-through, can you?
No, you can serve the 5 seconds, but it does look like he hasn't pitted into the safety car. He was about 50 seconds behind, so
this might actually work in his favour. I know he's been having a lot of trouble with his pedals. I know he's sheared off his brake pedal on his set, so that's probably not the best thing for him, really.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know whether he's still having troubles, but yeah, not great.
Definitely not ideal.
No. As we just wait for the rest of the guys to form up, we are just waiting for Jack and Golf. So it does allow Jack to creep back up as well. I know he was having troubles before he had a spin, so yeah, that's another one for him to creep back up to where he needs to be. So just one more. So it looks like, yeah, we'll be returning to normal racing, I'd say, after this.
Looks like it.
So we need to jump on board with Winther and Mons to see how they're going to react to the restart. Mons is getting quite accustomed to being at the front for a race restart, and he seems to be the man that's always in the right position when he needs to be. Golf needs to hurry up before it leaves him behind. Unfortunately, that's something that the game doesn't do. It, unless you're in the last sort of 3 or 4 laps where the safety car needs to come in because the game won't finish under a safety car, it'll actually have to let everybody catch up, and they all have to be in sector 3 before the safety car can come in. I believe is it the end of sector 2 line where everybody has to be in the same sector for the safety car to come in. So as we just wait for the restarts, Mons is backing everybody up. I don't know when he's going to go, but I suspect it'll be somewhere sort of mid between now and the line, and I think he's away. Seems to have caught Winter out a bit, but that has pushed Jericho back into Winter as well, so could be some tight breaking down to turn 1 as around the outside. Is he going to think better of it? He's going to get the better line, and he cuts across the chicane. Does he get into anybody else's way? No, he comes back on as cleanly as. So Jericho pushing like a man possessed, trying to get past Winther there.
He looks very fast, Jericho. And Mans has had a perfect restart. Already got that outside of that DRS window. That's perfect for him.
Yep, and there's yellow flags sector 2 as well. There's been an incident back there. I don't know whether that... This seems to have slowed the half of the pack down there as Rosa seems to benefit a bit from that. I'm not quite sure what's the need of all that, really. It seems to be from Mitch down... Sorry, Rosa downwards that everybody seems to have bunched up behind him.
Yeah, there must have been some sort of accident ahead of Rosa that maybe he passed. I'm not quite sure what happened there. I saw a couple of people falling down the order, but other than that, I didn't see much.
As Craig's having a bit of an issue as well. He's just got passed by Golden Flame and Ninja, so not quite sure. And Bashi and Rosa, and Alfa Romeo and the Haas are going side by side as well. So that's interesting that Bashi's getting his elbows out.
Yeah, it looks like Bashi got past Rosa there, which is interesting. That's not what Rosa needs at all.
No, we've got...
He needs to be... Sorry?
Jericho and Rob in the pits as well, which is a bit strange just after a safety car. And that's Craig out there. I'm not quite sure what happened, but it was side by side with Vaxi, and that just seems to hit south, and we have another safety car.
Yeah, that was a big one. That was a massive crash for Craig. I don't really know what happened actually there. He was kind of just going down. Maybe he clipped the grass, probably on that outside.
Yep, it can be done. It just seems that it just snapped total opposite way.
Yeah, very odd crash, but again, it's going to neutralise the race. So Mans will be absolutely fuming, to be honest, I imagine at this point.
This has to be the point where Winther's thinking of pitting. He could, in theory, jump Rosa here.
Don't think so. There's not that much of a gap in the field at the moment because of the safety car before.
Another drive-through penalty there for Golden Flame speeding. A lot of people getting caught out by that. This is more crazy than Australia's race. Yes, it is. We do like to chuck some entertainment. We have a boring qualifying and a fantastic race, so just a normal day in Simcade, isn't it, really?
Yeah. All the leaders are in top 3. Mans, Winther, and what was the other one? Oh, they're all moved around now.
Extinct was in the pits, I think, as well. They're all jumping around like mental, so that allows the likes of Rosa, Basha, Ennis and Lance to jump through along with Ninja and Vaxi. I'm not quite sure whether so a few of them might not have pit, you know. I think Mike is the only one out of the runners in the middle, with Lance and Ennis still not pitting either, so yeah. Mike on his return from his holidays finds himself at P7.
Oh, I'm surprised at Mans pitting because those mediums will not get to the end doing 20 laps. So I would have expected him to stay out, but we'll see what happens with that.
Well, crazy things have happened, and with the way that it's going at the moment, with 4 out already, with Craig, Polybalar, August and Footy already out, I wouldn't be surprised if we see another safety car.
Is this Imola or Monaco? Everyone's going out.
Yeah.
At the moment, 12 laps. At the moment, it's one person for every 3 laps DNFs. So,
quick maths is definitely your forte, isn't it?
No.
No.
12 divided by 4 is probably about the extent of my maths capabilities.
So we're just looking at the tyres at the moment with Jericho and Lance and Ennis still haven't pitted. They're on 11-lap-old hard tyres. Mikey on 11-lap-old mediums. Jericho as well hasn't pitted. The rest of them either a couple of laps or the couple of laps before the safety car before. So yeah, as Lance finds himself the leader of the group, he's going to take us away when the safety car comes in next lap. So every lap that these guys do behind the safety car, the likes of Mons and the people who just pitted for the medium tyres, helps them out a long way.
Yeah, it does. But Lance is going to have the satisfaction of being able to lead a restart, which I'm sure he'll enjoy. And then his main objective will be to try and pull as much of a gap to everyone as he possibly can. Because he'll only have to make one more pit stop unless there are more safety cars, obviously. And I think he's in a good position at the moment, because we know that Mans will have to stop again on the mediums. We know that people who pitted from the mediums on the first safety car period, they might have to stop again too, because that's a long stint for those hards. So I don't know, I think Lance could be a dark horse in this.
So with the way that the race is panning out at the moment with having 2 safety cars already, could we see a safety car later on in the race that could push the hard drivers, if they're still on the hard tyres at the time, to go on to a set of softs? Could we see a one-stop hard soft?
You'd be pushing it, I think. But I mean, if you've got nothing to lose, why not? You're going to be rapid on the softs for a couple of laps, so if there's a late safety car and you're in the fringes of the top 10, give it a shot. Why not?
Could we imagine if this was a wet race? Yeah, I've seen a lot of wet races. I've seen a lot of wet to dry or dry to wets, and they are entertaining. To say, there used to be a bit of annoying when to pit as a safety car was in this lap, so Lance starts to back up the pack and allow that safety car to disappear. There used to be a bit of a telltale sign when it was going from wet to dry or dry to wet was you used to get the DRS, but I think they sort of made that random a bit more now, haven't they?
From my experience in this game, it's still basically the same.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, if the DRS is enabled, then it's time to go onto the dries.
That shows how long it has been since I've taken to track an F1. I seem to have hung up my racing bus as Lance is not deciding to back everybody up. He's just gone with the last corner. He has actually caught them sort of napping. He's pulled out half a tenth in the first, well, down the main straight. It's Bashi goes side by side with Ennis down into the main straight as well. So that looks like that was done before the corner came around as well. So Bashi, a man on the charge with Ninja and Vaxi going side by side. So them two have met on track again and managed to keep it clean this time as well. As Ninja, Lance had an issue. He's not around. He's just, yep. Sorry, I know you're having to deal with my random clicking. Sorry.
It's okay. No, it's I don't know what happened to Lance there, but a bit odd that he only lost one place, whether it was a half spin or a little twitch.
Yep.
It's a shame, because he had a really good restart.
As Jack, in the midst of all that, has overtaken Mikey, and Mikey's lost another place to win through as well. And Extinct, so he's dropping down the order. No, he's dropping down the order very quickly, actually.
It's certainly been an interesting restart so far.
Ennis is all over the back. There's yellow flags in sector. That's Golf is around.
Mikey. And Mikey's
No, it's
out.
not. It's Mikey's
There's
out.
another safety car.
There is another safety car. What happened there?
That's 5 people now. The
People,
DNF every 3 laps has come true again. It's come true again.
Yes, I mean, this is definitely going to go down as Simcade Safety Car Fest. This for some strange reason, as Lance, Ninja, and Jack decide to pit and get rid of the tyres that they're on.
Yeah, so Bashi takes the lead of the race. Has he pitted, Bashi, or has he yet to pit?
I can check. He has pit. The only one that hasn't so far is Ennis that hasn't pitted. Ennis and Jericho.
That's interesting that Bashi's pitted, so he leads the race on merit from starting last on the grid, that is a pretty impressive stuff from him.
Yep. I reckon that after the race is over, the stewards are going to be very busy with this one because a lot of these incidents seem a bit strange. Mikey seemed to be when he was under a lot of pressure from drivers behind, because he fell through the grid, not down the order as in he sort of looked like he was naturally letting them through, and then maybe got clipped by one of them, but I'm not quite sure what happened there. We've got a car glitching there. Is that Baxi? We seem to be doing a bit of glitching. So everybody is bunched up apart from Jack, who is... Where is he at the moment? It's just, yeah, a couple of corners behind, so we could see the safety car in. Maybe next lap.
Yeah, I'd say probably next lap. Definitely won't be this lap.
As the car has been cleared. I do like the Italian flag being painted around the outside of the track. It's a very nice touch to the track, isn't it?
Yeah, it's, to be fair, Imola's one of the best tracks in the F1 game in terms of how it looks relative to real life, because it's quite a new addition. It is one of the nicer looking ones, yeah, definitely.
It looks the more, like you said, the realistic, the natural looking tracks, doesn't it? You know, it does look very well designed.
Yeah, obviously, as we know, there are some tracks, Spa, on this game which are quite far away from what it is in real life, but with Imola being a new addition and being laser scanned, it does look quite close to real life with all the Italian flags on the curbs and sausage curbs and everything like that. Yep.
Now, I know what you mean with Spas, a lot of the bumps and curbs that are not actually where they're meant to be. In real life, and some of the, not the track layout, but is it there's some, like, is it track distances and widths are a bit off as well, aren't they, with Spa?
Yeah, it's mainly the curbs, curbs and the runoff, which are not very realistic, and especially at the bus stop chicane.
Yeah,
the bus stop chicane is nothing like it is in real life.
But I suppose at the end of the day, it's a game, and you get what you pays for.
True. Yeah.
As we come around the mid to end of Sector 2, and hopefully we'll get the call that the safety car will be in, and we can resume some actual races where we hopefully don't get another DNF. And this time we've got our third person leading us away with Bashi, and leading us away with Mons. This has helped out Mons, I think.
Yeah, well, the safety car is in. Just had the race control notification.
Yep.
Hopefully this time they can actually go racing and not crash into each other. Would be nice.
Yeah, more than 3 laps, yeah?
Yeah, well, hopefully.
Yeah. Let's see. As Bashi gives the safety car plenty of room as he's backing everybody up, and everybody having to do a Max Verstappen and stay behind. Oh, not a Max Verstappen. Is that the rule?
Yeah. The rule that you can't
side by side
pull alongside was because of Verstappen, wasn't it?
Yes, so it's the Max Verstappen rule that you can't do.
Yeah.
As he's backing everybody up. I don't think he's going to catch anybody out by doing that, as he's gone just before the line. It looks to have punched everybody up. There's a car on the grass. There's Rosa, goes around the outside as he's trying to pick a line through all the cars.
Rosa's been really caught out there at that restart. He was caught really
Oh, there's another incident in the back. There's Jack and Jericho. And Ninja, I think, gets involved in that as well.
Yeah,
As you got Golf, Ninja, and Jack there, that somebody hit the brakes really, really late then. Oh, and Jack nearly swipes in front of Ninja.
Yeah, Jack's got no front wing, so he's gonna be understeering about.
Yeah, as Jack does get out of the way there of Ninja. That's a bit surprising to see there that happen. But as the rest of the grid carry on, it does leave, unfortunately, them 4 behind with a 1.5 second gap for Bashi, with Ennis behind him and Mons closely following, actually. He's lost a couple of tenths there, but I'm pretty sure he'll be hot on the tails of these boys soon.
I'm sure he will. We know Mans is fast. Bashi, great restart on those medium tyres, and he's looking really fast. A big loser from that, I'd say, is Rosa. I don't know what happened. He just seemed to go backwards when we got underway. Went from 4th or 3rd, it was, to 7th. So
Yeah.
really, really not good for him. And Mans has capitalised up to 3rd.
Yeah, it just seemed to be the biggest loser. It looked like swamped with cars around him. He had to, at one point, got off the track. As Jack has DNF'd in the pit lane, I think he's had enough of... I don't know what happened during the incident, but a bit of frustration might be setting in. There, Golden Flame also in the pits as well in the background there. So, guys, don't forget to get your Driver of the Day votes in. And we're still up for predictions, and we've lost pretty much nearly a third of the grid.
Yeah, we've lost over a quarter of the grid now, which is insane to say.
Yep.
You wouldn't expect it around here, but it's been a race of attrition.
As Mons is now all over the back of Ennis, so he seems to have caught up quite well in their medium tyres. But again, how long can these go, and how long can he keep the pace going on these medium tyres? They want to sort of, I'd say, conserve. However, Ennis is one of these that hasn't pitted yet. I think he's the only one that hasn't been in the pits yet.
Yeah, I'd say with those mediums, I don't think there's a massive point in actually trying to conserve them. They won't go to the end either way. He will have to make another pit stop, so he's just going to go hell for leather and try and build that gap. So when he does pit, he doesn't lose too much.
As we've got DRS has just been enabled, and our first Driver of the Day vote is for Bashi, from Yuki.
That's a strong vote. He's done really well from the back of the grid to be leading by 4 seconds. It is now.
As Ennis finds himself going really wide there. There's a bit of a group behind here. And we're just looking on board with Winther and Ennis is coming around the hairpin, going side by side, and who's got the better traction at the corner? It looks to me that Winther did just get the better traction, but straight line speed has to go to Vaxi. As he pushed out wide there. Not the noticed of pushes out wide. There's a little dab on the brakes. Everybody Constantina's backwards there. That's looking very scary back there. I'm pretty sure it's not as bad as it looks like on the telecam.
Hopefully not. Yeah, it looked like they were about to have a 5-car pile-up again into that corner then, but I'm sure they all had it under control.
It does. I know the Constantina effect is quite prominent in these fast-paced cars, but that did look very scary.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be long before we see Vaxi getting past Winther and then Rosa getting past the two of them and setting after Mans.
So
it looks like the two ahead of Rosa have already used their battery up completely after about 2 laps.
Well, I can tell you that, sorry. I'll tell you. It looks to me, yeah, well, we're just looking at the telemetry here with Vaxi having none. Same for Winther, and then Extinct's got 30%, so around... Oh, a bit hesitant there from the new boys, really, isn't it?
Good clean racing. You love to see it. Hard, clean racing. No contact.
No.
Giving each other room. I'm going to have jinxed it now, aren't I? They're going to crash next corner, but...
No, I have full faith that these guys are going to make it another lap, at least, around Imola. Trying again, what you were describing in qualifying at the beginning of the race is this is sort of a very technical track. There's not a great deal of places to overtake. Not a lot of long straights, and you find yourselves creating this train of cars like what we've got here.
Yeah, the DRS train is very difficult to get out of, especially if you're in the middle of it around this track. That's what the likes of Rosa will be very conscious and probably frustrated of at the moment, stuck in the DRS train, not being able to get out of it.
It is just about trying to get that best line out of the last corner and powering down the main straight and hoping that you can get past before the first corner, really, isn't it? It doesn't look...
Here goes Winther.
Doesn't look like Winther's got the greatest straight line speed, however. Oh, they're going side by side, a bit hesitant again, but again, a little tap, but nothing that's car destroying, and they seem to just continue on. I think we have Lance has now had a bit of an issue. He's now down into P10.
Yeah, it looks to me like Winther's running higher downforce, because even with the DRS open, he wasn't really gaining that much on Ennis, which is surprising.
He seems to have everything coming out of the corners. Everything coming out of the corners, the better traction, but like you say, he's lacking in that downforce, but it's allowing Extinct to sort of creep up to the back of this pack, and it's not what he needs, really. Is he needs to focus on going forward, but he's now going to have this in the back of his mind that he also has to look behind him.
Yeah, and we know that Extinct from the telemetry has a bit more ARS to use to deploy, so we could see Extinct making a move soon.
He does have about 10% more than these boys, so he is using a lot to try and catch up, but it's enough to get past. Could this be a three-way battle into the first corner? We'll see how that one pans out, as well as Bash is taking a 5.1 second lead up the front of the grid, and again, it just Winter does not have anything. It's allowing Extinct to go around the outside and thinking otherwise. No, again, they all tuck in very, very close to each other.
Yeah, it looks like Vax is running quite a low downforce setup, which is working for him in terms of being able to keep his position. I mean, Winter's just all over him, climbing all over him every corner. He might have a chance here going up to the hairpin, the side by side. Is he going to be able to?
That's allowed Extinct on the inside.
Yeah, Extinct, lovely dive bomb, taking advantage of that. That was good stuff. A very opportunistic move from Extinct there. And now it looks like Jericho is getting in the action too, behind them.
Yes, that's what we'd like to see from our wonderful friend all the way out from India. His racecraft is just unbelievable when he's on his day.
Yeah, definitely. And now he's going to be
round the inside goes Jericho. So I think Winter's there is struggling with the high downforce setup. It's not really good on the straight lines. That's going to allow Rosa through as well. So everybody's just picking off Winter. That's not what he needed at all whatsoever.
Ennis is out. Ennis is out from third place.
He is. Oh, and there's another instant there as well. There's Extinct.
Extinct is around in the pit lane. Oh, it's all kicked off, and there's another safety car speeding the pit lane for Jericho. What is going on in this race?
I don't know.
What is happening?
I don't know whether somebody there, as soon as the safety car got called, tried to get into the pits, not realising there was a car next to them.
Maybe, because oh god, they all just seem to come together. They went to for the 3 into 1 doesn't go. They went for the same bit of tarmac, and it's never going to work out. And it didn't work out for Extinct there. That's unfortunate because he looked really good.
And they were all on the main straight as well. That just seems to yeah, I have no idea what happened there. That is baffling. As sorry, Yuki is looking wanting to know what the tyres are. I'm totally ignoring him because I've got on my little screen here, so I didn't really see the message. It looks to me, I wouldn't be surprised if we see 9 laps on the soft tyres. Yeah, we've got a couple of soft runners with Winter, Lance, Rob, Extinct, Golden Flame, and Golf all electing to jump onto the.
It's going to be borderline that.
It is. However, what I would like to say is I'd like to see Bashy in the pits. Yeah, so it looks like everybody from here now on is going to select a set of softs.
It looks like it, but if the guys behind Bashy pit, then he's going to have, once again, the lead of the race. And he's had an absolutely stellar showing. As Vaxi doesn't pace, stays out on those medium tyres.
I think it's on the hard tyres, though. Vaxi's on the hard tyres.
Yeah, so is Rosa as well. So that's an odd decision because they're going to have some very fast. As Bashi's actually gone for the mediums, not the softs. Same with the Mitch.
No, maybe everybody should have the full set of softs, really, shouldn't they? Because they should want to use any in qualifying.
Yeah. Maybe Bashi thinking that the softs aren't going to get to the end and opting for the mediums so we can push harder and not have to worry about punctures.
Surprised at Rosa for not pitting there. Is that sort of, with him being a good friend of yours, I thought he would you would know what his mindset.
I'm surprised. Yeah, he's usually like, it might turn out to be a great decision after all, but Rosa's usually really switched on when it comes to safety cars. So we'll see what this decision means for him, but it looks like he's going to struggle on 16 lap old hards to keep the guys behind on the new mediums and softs.
Now, could this be another one that they didn't want to double stack with Rosa being behind? Is he the one that sort of said, well, if Vaxi pits, then he'll stay out, and vice versa? But obviously the call was late, maybe?
Maybe, but I think if that was the case, he'd have probably gotten to his engineer to say box, and then he'd have seen that Baxi wouldn't have gone in and dived in last minute if that was the case. So I don't know. Maybe it was a decision from both of them to get the track position.
We know how much track position here is key, but these soft and medium runners, it's going to be an absolute whitewash with 16 lap old hard tyres now.
You'd think so, yeah. It's going to be very difficult to keep the guys behind. The likes of Bashi and Man's on the softs as well. He's going to be absolutely rapid.
As we come around for the second lap behind the safety car, as we wait for Ninja to come back into the view. Yes, the Alfa Romeos are being very bold. I think, yeah, it's a tough decision, I'd say. But it allows the battery packs to be recharged as well, so everybody will be back to full ARS. You can see a spot of clouds up in the sky. We're seeing clouds, Rosa, or I think it looks still pretty clear. Might be, maybe. I can't see any rain coming. I can't see there being that. I may be totally wrong.
It doesn't look like rain to me.
No.
But we know what this game's like.
Maybe Yuki knows something that we don't.
Yeah, maybe he's got insider knowledge.
Yeah. Maybe he's on the inside of the in the chat somewhere.
He's actually the one controlling the weather. He's about to click enter on the rain happening. He's got full wet instantly.
Yeah. The heavens may open now.
Yeah. I am God.
Yeah. Oh dear. As everybody has been bunched up, and I'd like to say that the safety car is going to enter the pit lane after this lap.
Yes, you are correct.
I have to say, it has gone very cloudy now.
It is a bit more cloudy. It's interesting.
I don't like this.
If Yuki is correct, I'm asking him for this week's lottery numbers.
Yeah. Can you give us some insider knowledge on that, please?
Yeah. Euro millions, please.
Yeah. As Vax is yet another victim to back the pack up and take us away for a lap of Imola.
Yeah, I don't think we've had the same person lead the restart twice.
Nope.
Maybe Bashi did too.
He's away, but I don't think he caught Rosa napping there. Rosa is hot on his tails. Let's see who can head down to turn 1 in the league. And it looks like Vaxi's got the better run, but we'll see under break and who does manage to keep in the lead, and it is all nice and clean from the front 2, and it looks like the rest of the grid did get through. However, these medium and soft runners behind them are not waiting around. The 2 Haas drivers of Bashi and Mons are right there with them.
Yeah, that's true, and I think Vaxi got a little bit out of shape coming out of the first corner, and that allowed Rosa a little bit closer, but Rosa wasn't able to get past, and now Bashi and Mans are right up their chuff. This is going to be a 4-way back for the win, I think. We've got 6 laps to go.
It looks like it's got very nice car control as he's coming up the hill, not using too much of the wheel spin that you can generate from there. And around the insides, Bashi takes Rosa up the inside there just before the chicane. That's a nice move there. And it's going to get Baxi done in the same couple of corners as well. Wow! He's on a charge.
That's lovely stuff. Bashi's been incredible so far this race. Double overtake through the chicane.
Oh, there's a little nudge there from Rosa and Mons. They're trading positions. Yep, Mons did get that done there. This is allowing... I'll tell you what, your man should have pit. He's going to struggle, but he's going to sit behind. Mons is going to take a dive up into turn 1. We will wait to find out as he's going to pull out. No, he's not. He's going to think better of it and sit as Rob and Jericho side by side just in the back there. With Jericho's obviously got the penalty.
Yeah, unfortunately the gamble for the 2 Alfa Romeos hasn't come off as Jericho goes down the inside of Rob. It's a nice move.
That is a satisfying move.
He's up to 8th.
As Winther and Mitch are going side by side as well. Everybody's trying to find a bit of space there as the Alfa Romeo and the Haas there coming up the hill. Looking mighty quick.
Yeah, it looks like it's Mans all over the back of Vaxi. Again, obviously the hard tyres not not proving to be the best option. It doesn't. I don't think it'll be long before Mans has found a way through, but Bashi already with a 3-second gap over the rest of the pack. That is an incredible lap that he's put together to pull out that kind of time.
And there's yellow flags in sector 3. We have another spin back there. I believe it was an incident between Golden Flame as Lance has moved up quite a few places there. I'm not quite sure what all that was all about.
Looked like Jericho and someone else got tangled. I'm not quite sure who else it was.
Oh, that's Golden Flame. Picks up a 5-second penalty as he retires from the race. So we have now over a third of the grid. Nearly half of the grid lost as the sun looks like it's peering back out again. So Yuki, unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to rain today.
And now Mans is the next victim, the latest victim of Vaxi's extreme low downforce setup. Not being able to find a way past on this particular occasion. I'm going to eat my words straight away as he goes right up and Vaxi's pulled into a spin. Oh, that's such a shame on his debut as well.
I don't think that's going to be enough to drag out the safety car the last 4 laps. I think he's managed to keep the car going, but that does put him into P12. Outside of the points, we shall check to see again damage there. His right hand side looks okay. It looks like his left hand side's okay, so it did actually escape any major damage there, but that does release Mons now, and I believe it's going to be Rosa now that's going to be under attack from the softer medium runners behind him as well.
Yeah, we could see Rosa lose out more here. But Winther, again, with that high downforce, he's going to go for it. Oh, he's got it done. And Lance is going to go around the outside of both of them.
It is! What a move that was from Lance! What a
Brilliant
move!
Stuff. Oh, that was class from Lance up into 3rd place.
He's going to be a bit under attack here from Winther, but I think he's got that covered. What on earth? Where did that come from? That looked like that car was absolutely planted to that tarmac.
Yeah, he definitely had his Weetabix this morning, Lance. That was that was beautiful stuff from him.
He needs a better fortune, doesn't he? Because he was sort of a bit bemused about how his F1 championship was going so far. He wanted better things from himself, and I think that's a sign of better things.
Yeah, well, he's had a bit of an up and down race today, but it's hit the up when it most matters, which is the end.
Indeed, as Mons has taken a couple of tenths out of Bashi, but again, they seem to be trading times. It doesn't seem to be too much here and there. It just seems to be 10th here, 10th there.
It looks like Bash is to lose at the minute, with 5 seconds in hand, with only 3 laps to go. We can see what Mans can do, but it's quite a big gap. Bashi pulled out. He made the most of Mans being caught behind Baxi.
So we just need a switch there of Jericho and Extinct behind. Not quite sure what happened. It was a bit late to the party. There's yellow flags in sectors 1 and 2. Is that another retiree? It is Baxi, another retiree. This one more car and we've lost half of the grid.
Only one person as it stands is not going to score points. This is a yellow flag.
No, there is. 1. That's it. That's Rob.
The DNF. Rob has DNF'd, and it looks like it was a coming together of the 2 teammates in the Mercedes.
Ninja's around sideways as well.
Around. What is happening? Everyone is going to score points today, I think. Is that right?
Yes, that it is.
Yeah.
All Ninja has to do now is finish. As yeah, that's mental. What is going on? How have we lost half the grid at Imola? It's usually
what a race.
It's usually a track where people are usually quite careful around.
It's not known for its DNF rate, because you've got. I know the runoff's gravel, but it's not like the walls are really close. There seems to have been a lot of incidents.
Simcade at its finest. I do know that we have this week not struggled, but I think Racecraft has been in question at the minute, and I think Jericho and Mitch have just traded places there. Yeah, with the ACC, I think there's a very strange incident. 2 incidents in the ACC race on Tuesday, and yeah, today just shows how everybody is really pushing. As Winter a bit sideways there, bit of a
We're
wiggle,
going to
but
start seeing, judging from Man's and Bashi's pace, Bashi's started pulling out again now.
yeah,
So
I
it
see
looks like the soft tyre runners are going to be struggling to keep the tyres in the window. And maybe the medium tyre runners can have a bit of a go.
Well, as we are just about to come round the last couple of corners and start the last lap of what has been a mental Imola race. And thank goodness there was no rain, because I don't think we needed it.
I don't think we could have coped with that. I think our minds would have just exploded if there was if there was rain on top of everything else that's happened.
Yes, indeed. As crossed the line, Gorbashi and Mons to start the last lap of Imola, and behind it looks like everybody's sort of fitting into position, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, that DRS train a little bit in the mid pack again.
A bit stretched now, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Rosa should have pitted. I know it's hindsight, but you never know. If he'd have pitted, what could have happened?
But P6 is still a good point hole from Rosa there, and yeah, Jericho with Winter picking up a P4 in his debut. That's fantastic. However, he is under pressure from Jericho. I don't know what the actual penalty is there. Do we know what that penalty is? It's a 10-second penalty. Oh, that's going to drop him all the way down to P9.
Yeah, if it is, that's unfortunate. Because he's done a really good race, actually, Jericho, for his debut.
He's going to make the move.
Yeah, he's going to have a go. Not
just
that it
before
means
the
anything.
hairpin, just before the chicane there on Winter there. But yeah, it's not, like I say, it's not going to mean much at the end of the day, as around the last corner goes Bashi to complete round 4 and take the top step on the podium there. And just behind, nice little wiggle, just behind him there, Mons takes up P2. As they come around the checkered flag for P3 there with Lance as well. Congratulations to him. We'll speak into the top 3. And there he goes. Jericho is falling down the order as we speak.
Yeah, I think that was easy. Probably one of the best performances I've seen for a very long time from Bashi there. From last on the grid to P1. What a performance. Incredible stuff from Bashi there.
That is absolutely brilliant. And with a 5.4 second lead, that is pretty spectacular.
Couldn't have done it better myself.
As Ninja's the last one to cross the line there to take home P10. I'll just run you through the grid, and I mean, we need to breathe, because the amount of safety cars, the amount of craziness we've just had there, yeah, it was pretty bonkers. And Bashi does take the game's driver of the day. I think he took Yuki's driver of the day, and by far takes my driver of the day. So, yes, definitely congratulations on a podium there. So, taking the top step of the podium was Bashi. He also picked up the fastest lap there as well. P2 Mons with Lance in P3. Winter, Rosa, Mitch, Extinct, Golf, Jericho and Ninja rounded up the top 10 and rounded up the finishers. With our DNFs of Rob, Baxi, Golden Flame, Ennis, Jack, Mikey, Craig, Polybalar, August and Butty. I mean, I believe the stewards are going to be extremely busy.
I would imagine so, yes. Most definitely they're going to be properly busy with that.
Yeah, I'm just going to move over to the scene here. I'll just cut the music and, well, I guess we'll just wait to be... Take my screen off. There we go. We'll just jump into the podium chat, waiting for the boys and girls to come and join us.
Okay, pull me with you.
Yeah, I'm just going to stop my stream as well. Cause...
Yeah.
There we go. Wait for the top boys. Mons, I believe.
Yeah, it'll be Mons, Bashi, and Lance. What a race though that was.
Lance in with us to start off with. We'll see if we get any of the other lads in. I'm pretty sure the rest of them. Oh, dear. There we go. We've got everybody in. Right, well, we'll start off with Bashir. What an absolute fantastic race. Poor qualifying, but you managed to pull that one out of the bag from yourself in the race. Just how crazy was it out on track?
Bro, everyone was spinning everywhere. It was very enjoyable.
Was it as chaotic as it looked on stream with the 3 safety cars and the
Yes.
multiple crashes? It did
Mate,
just
I
look like
got
absolute
damaged
bonkers.
turn 1 because there was like a chain reaction and everyone braked 200 meters early.
So that what everybody did break early the first time. So everybody very hesitant coming into, but they had no dry running, so braking markers are very different only from dry to wet.
Someone broke the 50-meter board, so I didn't know where to brake anymore.
That's very unlucky. That. So we do have a question from you for you, Bashi. With Mons and Lance, when it was getting cloudy near the end of the race, did you guys feel that it was going to rain at some point, or did it look kind of dry throughout the whole race?
Nah, you just ask weather report, and he says no rain incoming, so you know it's going to be dry.
So it was due to be dry for the whole race.
Dry,
yep.
Yeah.
So I just checked the thing at the start of the race, and it was dry the whole way through.
Mm-hmm.
So the DNF in qualifying, I'm guessing that was just a driver error, or was that just something that?
Oh no, I was going to start last. I just started last. Yeah, I retired straight away.
You did just want to start last to put a bit of a challenge.
I retired in the pits.
Okay, so it was a bit of a challenge for yourself.
Yeah, just a little bit of fun, you know.
Oh well, why not? And congratulations on on doing that. Dodo, have you got anything for Bashi?
Nothing except praise. From last to first is incredible. One of the best drives I've seen. So well done, congrats.
It's always fun racing in Simcade because everyone's like chill, you know.
Brilliant. It's nice to have you with us, Bashi, and it's nice to show us what you can put on track, really, because it's fantastic to see. So Mons, another podium, fantastic P2. Probably a bit disappointed that you didn't get the top step there, but again, you were pushed all the way. The safety car, so the second safety car sort of didn't really help you out a lot, did it?
No, safety car really helped me out, except the last one, because then I got to put on some fresh tires and be a bit faster.
So as it came to qualifying, yet again, you and Rosa were neck and neck in the qualifying round. Unfortunately, just dropped off in the race. Was that something that you were sort of being a bit careful of? That tactics were gonna play a lot of part when it comes to start the race?
No, not really. I know what tactics I want to do when it comes to the race. So I felt comfortable with my tactics, but unfortunately, the early safety cars made it a bit worse. But I did what I could.
Would you have pit the first safety car, or was it definitely in your mind to keep out and keep going?
I would not pit during the first safety car because I started on hard, so taking mediums for like 22 laps, I don't think I would have been able to do that.
But the last safety car definitely played into your hands, allowing you to put on the was it the medium tyres that you ended the race on?
I put on the soft
tyres, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that definitely helped out because I was on like 12 laps old mediums at that point, and it would be another 8 laps, so it really helped with the safety car.
Brilliant. Well, congratulations on P2. They're fully deserved, as usual.
Thank you.
Lance, I mean, I have to say that we've saved the best to last for this podium position. Thoroughly deserved, especially coming off the back of quite a few disappointing races in F1. How did that one feel to be out of nowhere, what we would say, to be in P3?
Quite lucky, if I'm honest. I didn't really expect it. I didn't feel particularly strong during qualifying, and after the start, I still wasn't particularly feeling happy on those hards. And I was just lucky, I suppose, with how the multiple safety cars panned out, that I ended up in a decent position after the last one, and pretty much kind of kept my nose clean, and that's it, really.
Your double overtake, fantastic double overtake. I mean,
Beautiful.
Dodo was like beside himself. It was sweet as your double overtake. Was it Vaxi and I can't remember the other driver? Was it you?
I think it
Rosa, I believe.
Yeah.
It was just sublime. What on earth was going through your mind? Was there a lot of trust on the other two drivers, or was it just I'm definitely going for this?
Kind of bit scared. I was going for I think it was Rosa. I can't remember who it was, but I was going for the one car, and I saw them both side by side, and then they went straight for almost a second, and I was like, oh, I'll go for that gap, and that was kind of it.
So you made up your mind way before, and you committed to the overtake. That's fantastic.
I'd made up my mind for one car, and then the opportunity for the two came, and I just kind of took it.
So a question from Yuki, as always, because he's the man with the questions in the chat. You had a quiet race today. What was going through your mind during the race?
Keep my nose clean was the main one. Just survive, and just pick up points if I can. That's pretty much it. I didn't expect to be anywhere near the front.
So you are the epitome of drive to survive.
Oh, absolutely. In Formula One, absolutely. That's the way I drive. Just keep the nose clean, and you can pick up points. That's pretty much it.
Can this be a season revival from yourself? Could we see better results after the back of this one?
Yeah, I think this is a bit of a flash in the pan, but we'll see. I'd love to be on the podium a bit more, but I hope so. That's pretty much it.
That's the aim. Well, fantastic, and congratulations on P3. I couldn't be more happy for you. Really, it's well deserved.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, guys. I hope to see you back here very, very soon.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
I'll just move us back to our quiet room. Well, guys, there you have it. That as Imola in an hour and a half has been absolutely bonkers from start to finish. We had the wet qualifying and then the dramatic race. That was by far one of the most instant filled races. I won't say the most exciting racing wise, but definitely the instance and the safety cars has definitely pulled it out. Goodbye to everybody in chat. Yuki, thank you very much for sticking around. As always, it's great having you in the chat. But yeah, I mean, fantastic to see, isn't it, Dodo? Really?
Yeah, it was a brilliant quality and race. I think the first 25 laps with some of the incidents, but wasn't particularly interesting. But then that sprint at the end was brilliant, and you had some crazy overtakes and people who didn't pit. So yeah, it was a really good watch.
It was. Thank you very much, as always, for joining me. It's been brilliant to have you by my side again in the commentary box. It's brilliant as always. Thank you very much.
My pleasure as always. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much, everybody, this week. That is the end of yet another week here at Simcade, where we've enjoyed some very fantastic races. So to everybody who has been driving, to everybody who's won or been on the podium, and to everybody that has been in the chat, thank you very much for your commitment. Guys, if you do want to check out what we're doing, when we're doing it, how we're doing it, don't forget to check over. So jump over to our website, simcade.co.uk, simcadeleague.co.uk, or .com. I don't know, it's one of them.
Just try both.
.co.uk. I was right the first time. Simcadeleague.co.uk. That has our links to everything, all of our socials, including Discord. So, guys, if you want to join us in some racing, we have had a massive influx in our ACC and our F1 league. So, seats are being taken very, very quickly. So, if you do want to get involved about what we're doing, then do come and join our Discord and get yourself involved. If you don't have to come and race with us. You can just be in the community, like our very own Yuki. He's in the chat all the time. We are here pretty much 24/7. We're very much mindset on mental health. So guys, do come in and join us. Very small, great community. So come and join us. If you haven't already, thank you very much for liking and subscribing to the page. We do, like I said, have a full season, 12 races. We're 4 in. Well, that's just the end of 4. So next week we are heading to, just really quickly before we head off, if I can find it, racing calendar. There we are. So next week's F2 race hits Canada on Monday at 7 o'clock GMT. So don't forget to hit that one up. And then we are at Nürburgring in ACC. That's a fantastic track with Fuji for GT7, and then back to Canada to end round 5 of Simcade League. So, guys, don't forget to come and join us for that as well. And then, yeah, I think that's just about time to bring the stream to an end. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. Again, thank you, Dodo. It's absolutely fantastic having you here. Love it. And hope that we can do this many, many more times before the end of the season.
I hope so too. Thanks for having me again. It's been a pleasure and a great race.
It's brilliant. And I hope everybody has a very good night. So good night to you. Good night to everybody else. And we'll see you very, very soon here.